Cable, we know being local means supporting our own, and our customers deserve the best. Our customers deserve platinum. So now, all customers of the Cable qualify for our new Platinum Loyalty Card. An elite MasterCard experience that lets you support your own like never before. Instantly send money to any Platinum Loyalty member at home or around the world. Shop online or in person anywhere MasterCard is accepted. Save with no interest and zero annual fees. And the best part? If you're a Cable customer, you are already pre-approved. Just visit the Cable building in Bastere or sign up online at www.thecable.net. Get your Platinum Loyalty Card today because you deserve platinum. Terms and conditions apply.
Looking for the best price on your third-party insurance? Well, look no more. The insurance company of the West Indies, ICWI, has the best protection at the best price with no deductible. What are you waiting for? Click, call 465-8753 or visit us at 1C Bird Rock Road or in Nevis number 22 Solomon Arcade, Main Street. Payment options available.
It's time to scratch and match with Digicel. Collect scratch cards when you top up $20 or more at any Digicel reseller or store, or pay your phone or home and internet bill in full. Scratch and match. Get 2 or more of the same digital app and you win a prize. It's that simple. Win cash, credit, vouchers, lunches, spa dates, Digicel merchandise, and more. Plus, take the top half of your scratch cards to any of our retail stores to qualify for even more prizes in the big draw. Stay tuned to our social media pages to find out how to double or even triple your chances to scratch and match. Top up or pay your bill today. Get scratching, get matching. Digicel, better together.
Come to Sun Pharmacy for all your prescription medication and healthcare supplies. 2 convenient locations, Keon Street next to the Chinese supermarket and in the food court at Port Zante. Sun Pharmacy, we care about your health. Telephone 466-1074 or 466-1077. Sun Pharmacy, your pharmacy. Sun Pharmacy accepts all bank cards and medical insurance plans from Nagico Insurance, Sagico Insurance, and National Caribbean Insurance.
Overdue bills have you down? Need cash for medical emergencies, vehicle repairs, or school expenses? Or are you looking to renovate your home? If your answer is yes to any of these, visit us at Quartz Ready Cash for a hassle-free Ready Cash loan today. Get up to $13,500 for whatever you need. We also offer business loans to help grow your business. There's no deposit required. It's also fast, convenient, and hassle-free. Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Call us today at 466-1640 or visit us at readyfinancecaribbean.com.
Refresh and win $10,000 cash with Coca-Cola. Yes, you could be the lucky winner of $10,000 cash when you enjoy a 591 ml Coca-Cola Original Taste or 591 ml Sprite. Look under the special yellow cap to find your unique code and text to 767-0619 or enter via the web portal lnq.in/Coca-Cola. KN to win weekly cash prizes, grocery vouchers, meal vouchers, mobile credits, free Coca-Cola, or the grand prize of $10,000 cash. Refresh and enter as often as you like. Coca-Cola. Open for better. Terms and conditions apply. See press and in stores for details. Please follow all COVID-19 protocols when redeeming prizes.
Attention all drivers, I'm begging you to
slow it down, and that's what we're doing right now. 25 minutes moving up to the hour of 9 o'clock. Good morning to each and every one of you logged in and logged on and viewing as well. And let me say good morning to Donnelly in the studio with us. How are you doing today, Donnelly? Okay. Okay. Houston, we have a problem. Let's use the other mic. Let's see if we get you on the other mic.
Yes.
We got you there.
Yes.
All right. So we need to check out that one. Okay. No. Keep it. I can got you right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. That's me taking on. Say hello again.
Hello.
Yeah, see, that's what make it perform.
Thank you, GQ. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Let us pray. Oh, Heavenly Father, we want to thank you. We want to thank you, dear God, for another day, another beautiful and blessed day. We want to thank you, dear God, for life itself. And we know, dear God, it's not because of anything good we have done, but because of your mercies and your grace. We want to thank you, dear God, for your honor and your glory. We exalt your name, which is above every name. We come before you this morning, dear God, thanking you for the opportunity that you have given to us. Help us, dear God, as a nation. You know, dear God, that right now we are not right. Things are not right with us at this time, dear God. But we are asking you to just lay your hands upon our nation, each and every individual of St. Kitts and Nevis. We want to thank, dear God, the persons of the COVID task force who are working so hard in helping us to find out and contain the spread of the coronavirus. We're asking you a special blessing on the parents of these children who are suffering at this time. The families, what they're going through. We bring them all before you. We bring the person before you who are sick, the shut-in, those behind prison bars. We're asking and seeking your guidance. Let us, during the course of today, find time to spend a moment with God, thanking him for his goodness and his mercies towards us. We're asking you for blessings on those persons. Give them journeying mercies wherever they are going at this time. These mercies we ask in your name and no other name. Amen.
Amen. Indeed. So what's on your agenda for today?
Good morning to the persons out there in Major Land, those persons who are listening to us by any platform, social media. As I would always say on my program, our program would not be the same without you. And so we want to thank you so much for always tuning in and giving us your comments and your advice on whatever the situation is. GQ, this morning I want to speak mostly about the COVID, the thing that would have been put in place for the COVID-19, which refers to the ticketing offenses. I would have brought along with me the ticket book. Ticket is not a thing that the general public would really love, but it's a part of, and so we would have to comply. But before we do that, GQ, I want to touch base with the buses on the East Terminal to remind them that they still have no permission. There is still no permission granted for the buses on the East Line to travel to the ferry terminal to pick up passengers. You are allowed to the West Line bus terminal to drop off your passengers, but there is no waiting and there is no picking up of passengers. I just want the persons on the East Line to be absolutely clear of these instructions. Also, I want to let the general public know, the traveling general public, that there's still roadworks going on the west side of the country. And so we're asking persons to drive safely and cautiously, because there are a lot of debris and dirt and signage in the road. And so we're asking persons to be mindful. Also those persons who are traveling from the St. Peter's area as well. Mm-hmm. Now, with the the information for the traveling public where the ticket is concerned for the task force, the COVID-19. There are no tickets. There are no tickets, or no tickets will be issued if a bus has excess passengers. Buses are now, in a conversation with the buses yesterday, buses are now allowed to take 2 passengers per row. Buses are now allowed to take 2 passengers per row, and 1 passenger sits in front with the driver. Just 1. If for some reason you are stopped by the task force and the members of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force and you are carrying excess passengers, they would ask you to just let the person get off the bus, or let the persons get off the bus. It is not a ticketable offense. However, in the event that there is an obstruction, if for some reason the person don't want to get off, or the driver is giving problems to the officers, that's an obstruction and that's an offense. And that's an arrestable offense. The parent charge to that would be carrying aboard excess passengers, which is in our 15.06, it's section 12.1C of our ticket offenses under our Traffic Act. And so we are complying. All of this is a mesh. You carrying excess passengers, it's not a ticketable offense if you're carrying excess passengers at this time, but you can be charged under the 15.06.
For obstructing the law.
For obstructing the law, which would come with a parent charge carrying excess passengers, because you can't just have the obstruction, doesn't go by itself. It is meshed with the parent charge of carrying excess passengers, which is in our section 12.1C of our offences.
So in other words, you're going by the book.
We're going by the books. Yes. Now, we want the bus drivers to also be aware that you have a responsibility to sanitize your buses after every trip, to make sure that every passenger carries or wears their mask on their faces, covering their nose and their mouth for the duration of the trip. Not when you see the police officer or when you see the task force, you start to scrabble and put on your mask or wear your mask under your chin. No, you can ease your mask, TQ, because some persons have underlying conditions, and so you can ease your mask, but you cannot ease your mask for the duration of the trip. For example, you cannot ease your mask when you get on the bus in Bastille and don't put it on and you're traveling all the way to St. Paul's, or you're traveling from Bastille to Cayon, because remember that you're traveling on a bus with other passengers. What we want the traveling public to recognize and to realize that the buses are used by a large fraction of our community, and this is where the virus can be easily spread. And so we are asking the general public to do their part. You see someone come on the bus and they're not wearing a mask, speak to them kindly. Could you please put your mask on? Do you have a mask? Why are you not wearing your mask? Let us just interact, because it would be best for every one of us. Let us just comply. Let us continue to use the sanitization of our hands, and let us wear the mask. Let the busmen sanitize the buses after every use, and all these would help in the spread of reducing the spread of this coronavirus. We want to also let the passengers know that whenever you are getting on the bus, it's always best for you to it's always best for you as a passenger to make sure that you're sitting in a position where the person next to you, you position yourself in the public service vehicle, in the motor omnibuses or the taxis. Sit yourself in a position where you are sitting. It will not necessarily be 6 feet because of the short distance between the passengers. The two passengers is going to be in that seat. But you sit as close as possible to the end of the seat while the other person sit closer to the window. As opposed to, even though you're given the opportunity to have two persons sitting in a row, not to be sitting close to that person, except in the case where two persons might be a mother and a daughter living in the same house. Both of them can sit as close as they want together on the omnibus. Nothing is wrong with that. Mm-hmm. But once you're traveling on the buses and there is no relation, make sure that your spacing is wide enough so that there is no contact, just in case the person has to cough or sneeze or speak if the person eases their mask down under their chin.
Mm-hmm.
GQ yesterday, I want to speak to, on Monday, a traffic accident that would have occurred in the circus, where a car ran over a gentleman's leg, his feet. And the gentleman was traveling from 4th Street, and the car was coming around the roundabout. I would have spoken on my programs before about persons walking in the circus. There were three pedestrian crossings that you can utilize. Now, do not get me wrong. I am not saying that if you get hit by a vehicle in the circus, that you as a pedestrian is at fault. We are saying that the pedestrian crossings are there and use them wisely.
Mm-hmm.
Make use of the pedestrian crossing, because once you get injured, there is no turning back.
Whether you're wrong or right.
Whether you're wrong or right, there is no turning back. The insurance might pay you a lump sum of money that cannot compensate for what you'll be going through for the next 5-10 years with your injuries. Mm-hmm. So let us use the pedestrian crossing. There is one on Liverpool Road, there is one on 4th Street, and there 4th Street by the bank coming from the stoplight on the Bay Road, and there is one on Bank Street.
Mm-hmm.
And so any area you want to get using the circus area, any one of those crossings can help you.
Mm-hmm.
So I want the general public to be aware of that. The ticket offences, GQ, where the COVID task force is concerned, there were tickets that you can pay up to $500. And so they are outlined, and I will not go to them individually because I would suspect that person would want to call in and ask questions, and so I will not go through them. But there are ticket offences of a $500 fine, and there are ticket offences of a $100 fine, and so we want the general public to be aware. Let us take the one for $100, failing to wear a mask in public, Section 8(1). $100, and it's payable at the Bastia Magistrate Court in 10 days. Failing to do so, just like any other court order, you would go to the Magistrate Court, you would be summoned to the Magistrate Court, and you would stand in front of the magistrate and plead guilty or not guilty of the offence that you would have been allegedly being charged for. And so we're asking general public, we know that these are tough times, and so don't go around leaving your home without your mask. Your mask now is like your hand. Your mask now is like your legs. You must have your mask. It now becomes a part of you. So wear your mask. You're in general public. And I came on the radio program last week and I was speaking to GQ, and I said I was traveling, and there was absolutely no one not wearing a mask, and it was a pleasant sight to see. So we're just seeking. It is not all about us giving you a ticket. It is not all about us trying to drain your pockets. We're just saying, wear your mask, because these are tough times, and for you to just take $100 for not wearing a mask that costs $10, it doesn't make much sense. And so we are advising the general public to wear your mask once you're in public. It's a ticketable offense of $100, and so we're asking the general public to just comply. I would stop here for now, GQ, as we let the general public calling and give their views and their opinions and their questions.
465-2555, that's 2555. And for those of you in the United States and Canada area, 718-577-2916. Good morning, you're live.
Yes, let me just turn on the radio. Good morning.
Yes, man, morning.
Good morning.
I've been trying to get in before show. Miss Raibod,
Good morning.
I noticed that you say something there, which in my mind, they're incomplete.
Okay.
You talk about the person who get run over by the vehicle in the circle. Now, isn't it the fact that in built-up areas, speeds are restricted or limited to a certain mileage?
Yes, 20 miles per hour.
Yes, but people are driving around the circus there like 30 and 40. I would have seen that.
And you are correct.
No, in Brixton, Barbados, there's a street they call Broad Street. People and vehicles mingle, but nobody's a drive fast. And there's nobody there. Like a bus stop, a bus terminal nearby. People got to stop, love the vehicles so and drive so stupid. And respect pedestrians. I'm not saying pedestrians must willfully walk in the road, and I'm not saying that at all. So that's something needs to be looked at. You must mention the two things. You didn't mention that people are supposed to drive how they're supposed to be driving in these areas, and some of them police officers are wrong, and they do absolutely nothing.
All right.
Absolutely.
We get your point. And thanks.
With the bus, lastly, with the bus and the increased number of passengers, you say excess passengers, but you must say from what initially was there. I don't want to talk for you, but you should have sent that on bulletin board and ask the people to do that. And things like these, the same people who say they're striking, they should have been able to get the information and circulate it. And lastly, if somebody have to go someplace in town to shop, and they're going on the east side, they aren't telling me, if a bus comes from the east side down there, they can't jump in the bus and go. Instead of walking from all the way down, let's say down by Social Security, to go all the way up by the place up there, that's not fair, So that we need to clear up. And I believe bus is supposed to be able to travel around town, because bigger vehicles travel all around town. You all must think about this, a modern time. But when you all got laws, enforce them. And that's for now. For now, we're done. Have a good day.
Thank you. Now, if I can respond to the caller number one, we want to thank you very much for your input, and we want to thank you very much for your call. Now, passenger buses are registered to carry 14 passengers, and the driver makes 15. Buses are allowed or registered to carry 14 passengers, and the driver would make 15. If the law says that you are allowed to carry 2 passengers in these times per row, we all must know when the bus is in excess, because you were given the amount of passengers to carry per row. If you have 4 rows in your buses, it means that you can carry 8 and 1 at the front with the driver. You spoke about the East Line buses not being able to take passengers from the West Line or from somewhere in town. sometimes we put ourselves in positions where we would make things difficult for ourselves because of how we would operate. And I would say no more where that is concerned. We cannot let buses travel where they want in Bastia. There are bus routes and they must abide by the route that were given for buses. Thank you so much.
You touched base on the roundabout with the speeding.
The speeding with where it comes to. Sometimes it's not even. The caller is correct, GQ. Persons do speed in the Bastia area or in the areas in the country that are built up and they're supposed to be traveling 20 miles per hour. But sometimes an accident is caused. Sometimes it's not speed. Sometimes somebody is on their phone or they're looking down. They're not minding something might happen. Something might brush across their faces. So sometimes it's not only speed, but speed has a lot to do with a lot of accidents. And that is correct. But
he was more looking at the fact that, especially in town, it should be enforced more.
And the caller could be correct. We sometimes, we as police officer, we are, because like he rightfully said that sometimes we see offences and we don't say anything. And we have to remember that all police officers are not the same. Not that they are correct. But whereas Officer Jane might see several offences walking from 4th Street at the top to the bottom and might speak to each driver or speak to each person about the offence that they are committing, another police officer would ignore. And so and it's not that the police officers don't know. They are trained, and so they are trained, and so they know. And sometimes experience goes a long way when it comes to dealing with some of these offences. Because some of our offences, there are so many offences on our books, GQ, but they are not enforced. And that is one of the problems that we are having around with the community, the general public, in making, even now, persons are making a fuss or complaining whenever an officer gives them a ticket for certain offences. Oh, I'm doing that there a long time, but that does not make it right. So the offences are there. We do not always enforce them. The general public gets away with it, and so they operate as if like it is correct. So we as police officers, we err a lot sometimes. And so just like I speak to the general public and encourage them to be compliant with the law, is the same way I encourage my officers to do what is right when it comes to the offences of the laws of our land.
Let's back to the phone line. Let's take this call. Good morning, you're live.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah,
good morning.
I had wanted to make a comeback sometime now to say thank you to the traffic department and the public works department for correcting the anomaly that we had with the traffic lights in terms of the countdown for pedestrians. I want to say that it was so pleasing to see that they have all been corrected so that there is no green light appearing until the countdown reaches to 0, which is the international standard, which is the safe standard. And so I wanted to express my thanks publicly so that persons could be aware that when people give feedback, we sometimes get the kind of responses that are productive. So thank you very much to Donna Lee and all the persons at Traffic Department, as well as the persons at the Public Works Department who were instrumental. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. We always grateful when callers can calling, and when we are wrong, and when we are in the right, we thank you for expressing your gratitude, and we appreciate. Thank you so much.
Let's go back to the phone line. All right, we lost that one. We're going to take one more call, and then we're going to wrap things up this morning. In the meantime, Donnelly, I want to thank you, as usual, for being here this morning. Let's take our final call. You're live.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Jaywalking and the books in St.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Why is it that yesterday, that lady, where one pan the guy's foot standing up. That is not right. And he knocked in the car, and update the lady ain't come out yet. Even when the ambulance come. She ain't come out yet, and the fella don't know the guy, the lady will knock him. And that's bad. She knocked in the car. And she ain't moving, she panic she phone. And she going to Port Street. And she swing. Why she doesn't push, she then swing back Bank Street. A lot of drivers do it. But she should have come out the car. And up to yet, she ain't come to the guy and tell him sorry or nothing. No call. And that's bad. Why?
Thank you very much, caller, for that call. And we recognize that the general public is aware of the accident that would have taken place on Monday. And so the situation as it is, it is not a good thing for a good feeling for the families of the gentleman who would have gotten his feet broken. As a matter of fact, I got a call from one of the family members this morning, and speaking of the gentleman's pain and so on. And so we the members of the Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force, we cannot be here, there and everywhere, and so we're seeking for the general public, in the event that you get into an accident with anyone. Accident can be caused and happened to anyone, and so we're asking the general public not to be too hard on the persons who get into an accident, because it can be anybody. Not saying that if you get into an accident, you must just stand by and operate as if like you are correct, or you didn't do anything wrong, or you're not supposed to. In the case, the gentleman is saying that the person did not come out of the vehicle, and we can say one of two things. We can say maybe the person was in fright and they weren't able to move. We can say that. If there was another passenger in the vehicle, maybe that passenger could have come out and say something to the gentleman. I mean, it could have been so many things. But let us not judge, okay? Let us not judge, and let us just hope that all goes well for both the passenger, for both the pedestrian and the persons who were in the vehicle. I want to thank you guys for tuning in on our program today. GQ, I want to always thank you for allowing us to be a part of your program, and we really appreciate it. We want to thank the general public for tuning in, and we're asking you to be compliant with the measure that we put in place where the COVID-19 is concerned. Sanitize your buses. Persons who are giving persons a ride in their personal vehicles, please be mindful of who you are picking up, because persons are traveling around and being around with everybody and not knowing who have what and who do what. So please be mindful. Thank you very much, and have yourself a great week.
How much more tragedy we have to endure to face the reality. Less is safer than more. You're simply the best, better than all the rest.
Are you looking for a place that provides skilled nursing care and rehabilitation services to people with special needs, illnesses, injuries, or functional disabilities? Are you searching